I'm Greg Kaminsky, a volunteer at Wings of the North. We'd like to present a series of short videos highlighting various interesting artifacts that can be found in the Wings of the North Air Museum located at Flying Cloud Airport in Prairie, Minnesota. All of the items on display have stories to tell. Some of them talk about the technologies used, of battles won and lost, of personal sacrifice and of duty. They only need a voice to be heard. Our first artifact is one that's easy to walk past in the display case, a simple curved piece of aluminum with a crude hole in it. Bob Koch, one of our Air Museum docents, will give the item its voice. Let's go meet up with Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Koch, one of the docents at Wings of the North Air Museum. I am in our library today, and I'm here to talk about one of the many artifacts that we have on display. This particular artifact focuses on the story of one of our Minnesota natives, Major Bud Peterson, who was a native of Alexandria, Minnesota. Bud enlisted in the Army Air Corps shortly after Pearl Harbor and was sent to pilot training. He became a P-51 Mustang pilot and was stationed in England. The print is of his plane, Hurry Home Honey. Hurry Home Honey is an interesting name, and that was based upon all of the letters that he received from his girlfriend while he was overseas. She would write frequently, and she was an entertaining writer, and the letters that she sent to Bud were well received by all members of the squadron who wanted to catch up on the news from Minnesota. She would sign all of her letters, Hurry Home Honey, and his plane then took on that name and was well noted within the squadron. He flew with the 357th Fighter Group of the 8th Air Force out of England. Their mission was escorting bombers on the bombing missions over France and Germany. He flew many missions encountering German aircraft and German anti-aircraft fire, which was intense at times. On one particular mission, they were escorting bombers at approximately 25,000 feet, and the fighter planes would be traveling between 260 and 350 miles an hour, depending on circumstances. On this particular mission, they encountered extremely heavy anti-aircraft fire. There was a detonation near his plane, and after the war, he would explain to folks that it sounded and felt like he had flown into a wall. But he quickly checked his gauges. The plane was operating correctly, so he continued on with his mission, escorting the bombers and returning safely to their base in England. When he returned, he exited the plane, went to the squadron meeting room to review the mission, and then went back to check on his aircraft. His crew chief handed him the panel that I am now holding. This is the only removable panel on the leading edge of the wing of the P-51 Mustang. This particular panel would be removed from this area here so that the top of the landing gear could be serviced. When the detonation occurred, a piece of shrapnel went completely through this particular panel. The plane continued to move at 300 miles an hour. Shrapnel is traveling at several thousand feet per minute. And that one fateful intersection put a round through this section of the wing. It missed by less than a foot the top of the landing gear, damaging it and taking his landing gear out of service. It missed by 2 feet the fuel tank in that wing, which would have been catastrophic. If that round would have been 2 feet further outboard, it would have taken out the weapons on that wing, or if it would have been inboard 3 or 4 feet, it could have potentially been a catastrophic injury to Major Peterson. However, he survived that flight and many more and returned to Minnesota. This is just one of the many stories that we have regarding the history of aviation and the various artifacts, art, and aircraft that we have on display. We hope to see you soon at Wings of the North Museum.
Oh, yeah. They'll have that ready, I'm sure. But, that's the easy part.
Yeah, ready.
And over there is